My Sports Zone friends, I have a very special treat for you this week. I managed to nab the sports editor from his desk at the Alestle, which is a student-run newspaper at SIUE, and the top sports guy from WSIE Radio to give us their thoughts on some of the hottest sports topics. Yeah, you've seen a debate on my sports segment before, but trust me, these guys know more than I do. Boy, did they ever. Without further ado, we have Alestle sports editor Tony Patrico. Welcome to the show, Tony. I hope I didn't slow down the paper too much.
Oh, not too much, Groves. You know I'll do it for you.
Good to know, good to know. And we also have WSIE Sportscaster Adam Young, who got a chance to cover the St. Louis Cardinals opening day. How was the game, or should I say games? Tell me about what was going on.
Yeah, it was an interesting couple of days. Monday, you beat up on Jeff Francis and it doesn't count, and then yesterday you can't hit Kip Wells. Rough couple of days for the Cardinals.
Was a reaction like that in the locker room?
Yeah, Monday was really weird because the players, were kind of, all the festivities went on, and then, the game wiped out. But yesterday, they're excited to start playing baseball. It's going to be a long season, 162 games.
It certainly will be, Adam. Now, I'm going to ask you two the same question, get your thoughts, and I'll decide who gets the point. The first one to get 3 wins, and if we have a tie, I do have a tie-breaking question for you guys that I'll present if we get to that point. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, so recently the NFL is looking to trim some hair in the league or possibly make it where the players have to put it in their helmets. I know it was recently tabled, but still it'd be interesting to find out what people think about that. Kansas City Chiefs proposed it. Do you guys agree or disagree with this rule? I mean, Steven Jackson has trademark locks. I don't know how the fans would react.
Yeah, I disagree with this rule, Zach. I don't think the NFL should quite get involved. I think it's a player decision. It's only going to take one time for someone who's on defense just pull them down by their hair. They've enforced this horse collar rule now in the NFL where they say you can't pull them down, but sometimes it's just first instinct. I don't think the NFL should quite get involved. I think, it's going to take one time, and these players are going to say, okay, I'm going to stuff my hair in my helmet, or I'm going to, cut it.
Tony?
As much as it is from a sports standpoint, I got to look at it from the business aspect. If I'm a business owner and I have a representative of my business who has long hair, or who has torn up shirt, or has a big, huge, scraggly beard, they're going to be looked down upon. So I understand where the NFL is coming from on saying that they need to enforce a rule where they cut it, or it has to be a certain length, or tuck it underneath the helmet. As far as a safety issue, I do believe that if someone does get their dreadlocks pulled or their long hair pulled, it will become an issue. But it's been like that for a while, and it hasn't happened yet.
So do you think maybe down the road they could pull David Stern in the NFL, the NBA?
I don't think it'll ever come to that standpoint. The NBA players are in a different spotlight than NFL players. They play a lot more games. They're representing themselves on their court a lot more often than the NFL players are. So I think it's two different sides of the spectrum of sports to compare the two.
I'd say well played, Tony, well played. For that, I'm going to give you the point. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Basically, we'll hit the ice now. And NHL, obviously. The playoffs are near, and it looks like the Detroit Red Wings may be the favorite in the Western Conference. What are your thoughts about the Eastern Conference? Is there anybody who you think could come out of nowhere, or do you think there's a team that's set in stone that's ready to take the cake, so to speak, for the Eastern Conference? Adam?
I think Pittsburgh with a 100% Sidney Crosby has a chance to contend with Detroit, but they're just far and above better than everybody else right now. I think they're so fundamentally sound. They might not be the most talented team in the NHL, but they are the best team. They're very fundamentally sound. They're crisp with their passes. Great mix of youngsters and veterans. They got Zetterberg and Datsuk up front, and Chelios and Lidstrom in the back. If Sidney Crosby's 100% with Malkin and Hossa over there, they can maybe challenge them, but I think it's going to be Detroit in the end with the Stanley Cup.
Tony?
One thing to debate against with Detroit winning the whole cup, you got to have leadership. Stevie Yzerman was the leadership behind that team. He drove that team to all the success that they've gotten. I really don't believe that Chris Chelios is able to step into his role, fill those skates, and skate along. However, I'm not going to go ahead and say Detroit wins the Stanley Cup. Along with you, I agree that Pittsburgh is on fire right now. They're the hottest team on the ice. They've got such young talent, and that's what the game's coming to now. You need speed, you need agility. You can have your big guys that are going to throw their weight around, but you need the players that are going to finesse the puck into the net. You need those skilled players. And I don't see Detroit with, Chris Choke Chelios leading them to the Stanley Cup Finals, or even, I don't think they're going to have a very far run in the playoffs.
I think Lidstrom has developed into a quiet leader, though. Doesn't say much in the locker room, doesn't say much in the ice, but his results speak for themselves.
Well, I mean, considering your arguments and everything, definitely very sound arguments. But I've studied Chris Osgood. I mean, he's got 2 Stanley Cups already with Detroit, and you were talking about sound leadership and everything. Someone you could throw in would be Osgood. If since Stevie Y is not with the team anymore, Osgood, he's been around the game long enough to understand that. So for that, along with what you've talked about your leadership, Adam, I'm going to give you the point. So right now we're tied. This is definitely rolling along smoothly here. Back to football. Pac-Man Jones. I mean, I just read that he was doing some community service. I guess maybe it's an effort for him to regain his image, which could take a while because of all the mess that's been involved with the NFL and everything. One, should he be allowed to return to play? And if he does return to play, could that give Michael Vick some leeway? Like if Pac-Man could get back in, could Michael Vick get a chance? Adam.
Should he return? No, but it looks like the Cowboys are going to give a chance on him. That's what I've been hearing as of late. It's a recurring theme in the NFL. Players are getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th chances. Tank Johnson, Ricky Williams, and now it looks like Pac-Man Jones. But remember, Pac-Man Jones is a pretty darn good football player. He's a first-round draft pick a couple of years ago. I think you got to draw a line at Michael Vick. You cannot let Michael Vick back in the NFL. Whichever team would even try picking him up, it would be bad for their team's image. I don't think any team would even give a shot at Michael Vick. But Pac-Man Jones is going to be back in the NFL.
Adam, that is a point well taken. I didn't really think about that. Tony, what do you think about this?
Michael Vick, you got to think this man's going to go into a prison sentence. He's going to serve time. The main reason Michael Vick is such a sought-out NFL athlete is because he was quick. He was quick. He could move with the ball. He could run. He could find the open passer. He could throw the ball to him. When he gets out of prison, he's going to be much, much older. He's going to lose that quickness. He's going to lose all of his speed. Not only will an NFL team not want him for his image, but he's going to lose all of his skill. Pac-Man Jones is still a young player.
Well, it looks like with time, that was going to be the tie-breaking question, and I'm going to leave it at a draw. You guys have both given great arguments. Really, it's tough to make a call there. But anyway, we're out of time. That was a good time. Real fun debate. Wish we could have gone on longer than that. But anyway, folks, thanks for sticking around and have a great week. I'm Zach Groves from The Zone. Take care, everybody.